introducing you to a new GPT that I've engineered called AGI Synthesizer. Now, what if before I dive into what AGI Synthesizer does, let me give you a little backstory. If you haven't been paying attention to what's going on with ChatGPT, they made some major improvements in the system user interface and a bunch of backend functionality. One of my favorite functions that it has is what's called custom instructions. So let's see here, custom instructions, and then custom instructions, which I'm not going to show you all my custom instructions, but in custom instructions, you can basically like tell your agent how you want to be treated, how you want it to respond. Okay, that's the basics of custom instructions, but I'm going to kind of show you a couple of things here of how it works. So custom instruction comes in two parts. The first part is what would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses, and then the second one is how would you like ChatGPT to respond. So what we can do with these custom instructions is we can creatively use these to basically uh, and strategically like packing more information, almost like a pseudocode. So basically, like you can have your agents repackage that information and fit more information to by adding different words and different arrangements. Kind of like it essentially making uh, data files more concise. Okay, so it's like compressing information. So the reason I say that is because in with custom instructions, you have to come up with these custom instructions, and they may or may not be very good. But you can use prompt engineer AIs to generate those custom instructions, and then as you're going, you can be using an AGI synthesizer like this to synthesize information. So what this agent is built to do is to take an output from another AI. So let's say you're having a conversation with an AI about any particular topic, and you want to essentially extract the important parts of that conversation so they can be used in other conversations. So you may want uh, AI agent B to be able to know what you talked about with AI agent one, but since they're not connected, you have to create a connection point for that. Well, custom instructions allows us to create that bridge. You basically can each agent can essentially give output that it thinks needs to be in the system, and then the AGI synthesizer is engineered to take all those outputs and combine them. So I know it's a lot with the different outputs, but basically I'm just going to give you a practical example of how you can use AGI synthesizer to really make your life way easier. So like as an example, I'm having an issue where when my agent provides links in my output and its outputs, it's embedding them in the text or it's not including them in the actual message, which is cool a lot of times. But sometimes if you're copy and pasting from this over to another platform, just Messenger or something like that, it's not going to embed your links. So you want to have the links as well on the side. Now, out of the box, ChatGPT does not do that by default. So a lot of times I find myself in chats having to repeat the phrase saying, hey, I want you to make sure that when you do your outputs, you always include, like down here, it says, always make sure that you're using verbatim links. I always have to tell it, hey, make sure you're going to do it like this too. Like for whatever reason, ChatGPT out of the box doesn't put spaces between the URL and the bracket. And the reason why that's important is because if you share that with the bracket touching it, it's not going to be a clickable link. So just some like little things like that. It's kind of like things that can just increase efficiency a little bit. And this is what this video is about, is showing you how you can use AI to essentially increase your efficiency. And so instead of you having to type out everything, you can build an AI that knows exactly what you think and how you would type, and then it types out whatever you want to type for you. That's how you can use AI to optimize workflows. And we do that using prompt templates. So what you're seeing on the screen right now, AGI Synthesizer, is the result of custom engineered prompt templates being synthesized into an actual GPT unit that understands the nuance of the templates and then basically creates the output. So you use so in the scale of things, you have your prompt at the bottom, prompt engineering. You have power prompting. Then you have uh, prompt templates, and the prompt templates engineer GPT systems. So those are kind of like the major core components. But with all that said, I want to show you an example of how this works. So without going into too much more detail, the basically what's happening here is I'm like, hey, I need you guys, I need from now on, I want my agent to understand these rules. Like I have certain ways I like things, and I want them to always remain consistent. So what I'm going to say here is I give all the instructions, then I say from now on, anytime we deal with a link of any response, verbatim links should always be included in the output, even if links are also embedded into text. And this is the correct format for links and output. And I even tell it how I like the links. And then I say, notice the space between the block and parentheses. This is a very important note, as it keeps coming up as an issue with agents. Okay, so now I can just so let's see what it does. So what's going to do now is it's going to review the last iteration of my custom instructions. Then it's been programmed to create a new set of custom instructions, integrating whatever what we call synthesizing the information together and creating a consistent output. So so this is what it's saying now. So now okay, this is some of the stuff this is all stuff that it creates based upon conversation after conversation. So yeah, it's just random stuff. Let's see. So it says here, includes verbatim links, handling links. No. See, I got to work on that. We need to fit this all into the custom instructions. So, and this is a process of reiterating too. So obviously the output's not coming out exactly how I want it right now, AGI Synthesizer. So when this comes out, it will be AGI Synthesizer 1.0. So basically this is an example. So what I need to do now is go back and fix it so that it understands this and its core instructions. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to update this, but this is an example of how you could use that. So check it out. If you want to get access to all the information, the links to the templates, join my Patreon. Your support is greatly appreciated. In there, you'll have access to community developers, people who are working on AI enthusiasts from all different levels, working on projects. We're just breaking ground on Project Eden. Make sure to check out the link in the description. And that's early. We're moving into early phases. What you're seeing here is kind of the underpinning of what we're doing with Project Eden, and this is part of what we call communication communication compression. So we're compressing conversations into smaller fragments and producing higher quality output. So that's kind of what's happening here. But we have to do some reiterations. There's a couple of things I need to tweak on this one before we release it. But check out the Patreon. A lot of the content we're putting out is now behind Patreon, in the Patreon community. We're not doing a lot of public content besides stuff like this every so often. So make sure to check it out if you want to get connected, want to get involved. We have some very ambitious projects we're working on and looking for a lot of people who are eager and excited to get involved in the tech space, wanting to learn how to code, wanting to learn how to develop. If that's you, reach out to us. Let's get connected, and we'll dive into more details about this. I'm looking forward to releasing AGI Synthesizer 1.0 very soon. So stay tuned, everybody, and take care of yourselves. And happy coding.